Hello, this is Howard Kravitz. Welcome to episode 85 of the HHH Racing Podcast. Thanks for joining me tonight. We've got a fantastic show covering Breeders' Cup prep races at Belmont and Santa Anita. You see, I've got my swag. I got my Breeders' Cup hat. I've got my Breeders' Cup shirt that just came in the mail. I'm all excited for the Breeders' Cup, as some of you might know. I'll be attending my first ever Breeders' Cup here in about 5 or 6 weeks at Del Mar, as I was fortunate enough a few weeks ago to qualify for the BCBC, the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge contest. It's a huge contest. It's a $10,000 entry, and I was able to win a seat into the BCBC at Del Mar in San Diego in early November. I'm really excited to compete and see what I've got against some of the best handicappers in the world. And also, of course, get to see great racing and great horses at the Breeders' Cup. So I'm very excited to go to Del Mar in early November. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm very excited about the show tonight for many reasons. First of all, please make sure you hit that subscribe button right there. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that today was a milestone day for the HHH Racing Podcast here on YouTube. We reached 500 subscribers. We started this in late January, so I'm very proud. It's very exciting. We've got 500 more to go. I want to reach a goal of at least 1,000 subscribers. If you're new to the show, whether you're watching live or whether you are going to watch a replay, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Of course, it's absolutely free. It will tell you, and then hit that notification bell also, so you'll know when new content will arise. Also, smash that thumbs up button, like, comment. Any comments you have about the show, please make sure you comment down below the video player. You guys know where you can reach me. It's on my name tag there. Follow me on Twitter. Over about 430 followers right now. I'd love to get a lot more. Send out some great things on Twitter at HKravitz. You can see there on the name tag. And then, of course, on the scroll in the bottom, you can reach me through email, hkravitzhorse@gmail.com. Now, before we get into the show specifically, a few housekeeping items. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to toot my own horn because I want other people to speak for me. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know this for sure. But the Race Day blog has been on fire lately. I mean, double-digit scores all over the place. Now is a great time. If you've not subscribed to the Race Day blog, now is the best time to do it. First of all, tomorrow is October 1st, right? So the Race Day blog through Patreon website will automatically resubscribe yourself on the 1st of every month. So tomorrow or Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, or tomorrow, Friday, or really any time, but those would be the best times to buy your subscription to the Race Day blog. Again, it will auto replenish at the first of each month. Last week we had a 21 to 1 shot that I put out on the blog only, was not on this show, was only on the blog at Arlington on closing day. So hit with a $44 horse, and also had the straight exacta. The $2 exacta paid over $100. I've had several double-digit scores on the Race Day blog. The week before, we had a pick 5 hit, a $65 bet, paid over $700. Again, the Race Day blog is great. There's the information below. Also in the description below the video player, you can find about the Race Day blog. If you've not signed up for that, please make sure you do so. And then, of course, we are going to have major information on the Breeders' Cup on the Race Day blog coming up at the end of October. So this is a great time. If you've not purchased the Race Day blog, please go ahead and do that. Also, let me go ahead on the bottom of the screen there. Next week, and I see a bunch of comments are coming in. I'll put some comments up the screen there in a second. If you're joining me live, we have a lot of people already watching live. Thanks for joining the show. Next week, next Thursday, we'll be covering opening weekend at Keeneland. It's Fall Stars weekend. It's a spectacular weekend of racing at Keeneland on their opening weekend next weekend. So a week from today, Thursday, that would be October 7th, I believe. Yes, October 7th. Next Thursday, come right here. I hope to have a guest on. If not, I'll fly solo, but we'll talk about the great Breeders' Cup preview races or prep races at Keeneland next week. Let's see here. We got some comments here. Horsey Dave, thank you. I've been hot, and thanks a lot. I appreciate the subscribers. Brian, my buddy Brian Fisher, a fantastic, if not one of the best science teacher at Round Lake High School in Round Lake, Illinois. Shout out to Brian. Brian, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Joe is here tonight. Joe, thank you very much. Brian, we'll do that. Again, Horsey Dave. Wow. Horsey Dave, I'm sorry to hear that some of your math teachers weren't cool. You'd have fun in my class. Yeah, there's a lot of math in, there's a lot of math in horse racing. That definitely helps you with the percentages and analytics and a lot of things. You don't have to be a math professional to understand how to bet horses, of course, but it does help for sure. So thanks for all the comments there. I'm going to take this scroll off the screen for right now because I do want to show you another scroll. It's very important, ladies and gentlemen, that you stick around for the end of the show. Today's show will be a little bit shorter than other shows. I just want to let you know right away. If you're on my email list, I did send you another email. I was hoping to have Nick Hines on, the Sarge, hoorah, from TVG, but we ran into a conflict with his scheduling, so unfortunately Nick Hines from TVG will not be on the show tonight. Tonight I'm flying solo. Please don't change that channel, though. Stick around because there's going to be great information, but I hope to have Nick Hines on the show from TVG very soon, possibly next week. But if you see on the bottom of the screen there on the scroll, I've been waiting a long time and the right time to talk about the closing of Arlington. As most of you know, I live in the Chicago area. So I'll be giving a quick 2-minute speech at the end of the show about the closing of Arlington. You don't want to miss it. Also, at the end of the show, I'm going to give my long shot play of the weekend. The last race that I'll be covering on this blog, I have a long shot that I think is very live. And again, I've had some very nice scores lately with some long shots. So you definitely want to stick around to the end of the show for those two things, a long shot play and also a quick but important heartfelt speech about the closing of Arlington Park. So please make sure you stick around for that. So what's happening on the show today as I got some things ready here. So today on the show, let me see some other quick comments here. Joe, great you're here with the speech. Horsey Dave, I will not, I will not make you cry. I sent out some pretty emotional stuff on Twitter. Shed some tears on the last day of Arlington. That will not happen tonight. I've got all my tears out and all my sorrow out last week at Arlington. That's not going to happen. But I do believe there's some things I do want to get off my chest publicly, so to speak, that we'll do. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right in. Here's what we're doing tonight. We're going to cover 4 win in you're in races for the Breeders' Cup. These are prep races happening this weekend at Belmont and Santa Anita. The winners of these races will get everything fully paid, travel expenses, whatnot, everything paid, nominations, etc., into the Breeders' Cup. And we're going to start at Belmont. So let me go ahead and bring up the past performances for the Belmont race. Again, thank you very much for joining the show as I go ahead and set up my screen. And there we go. So the first race we're going to be talking about, and we're going to be watching a lot of replays in this race. So I'll be going full screen at some point to talk about these races at Belmont. The first race, this is race 8 at Belmont. So we are not covering a pick 5 this week. Again, just Breeders' Cup winning your races. I have some very strong opinions. Hopefully they'll be correct on this weekend's races. The first race we're going to cover tonight is race 8 on Saturday. It's at Belmont. It's the Champagne. This is a grade 1. They're going 1 mile on the dirt. Post time approximately 4:40 Eastern Standard Time. And this is restricted for 2-year-olds. I'm going to go ahead and go full screen because, like I said, I'm going to be talking about a lot of replays here. Let me quickly run down the field. It's a small field. It's only a field of 6. You have Witt for Pletcher and Irad Ortiz and Rapoli Stables and St. Elias Stable also. My Prankster, another horse for Todd Pletcher. You got Jack Christopher, the Moorline favorite 9-5, Chad Brown. You have a horse, Kavod, James Chapman, Uh, a long shot 50-1 morning line. Gunite, the winner of the hopeful, won by 5 lengths. Very impressive. By Super Sire Gunrunner, 4-1 morning line, Steve Asmussen and his go-to guy Ricardo Santana. And then the 6, Command Performance, a horse who finished second. Let me take my picks down for right now. I'll bring the picks back up on the screen if I can. Sorry about that. Let me hold on a second. There we go. Take my picks down. Command Performance 10-1. Another Todd Bletcher horse. This time Tyler Gaffleone in the saddle again for Poli Stables. This is a very interesting race. Let me go right to my top pick here. My top pick in this race is a price. I like Command Performance here. When I handicapped this race, by the way, I did not know what the morning lines were going to be. I think, and again, any comments, questions, please feel free. I know a lot of you probably have not looked at the PPs yet, but if you see anything you like, any comments that I make, please make sure you comment below the video player. And when you watch a replay of this, if you're not watching it live, please make sure you comment down below the video player anything you like or dislike that what I say. I'm very interested in Command Performance here. I didn't think he'd be 10-1 morning line. This horse finished second in his first time out. You see, he was 3-1. He went off at. This race was in the mud. Let's take a look at the replay of Command Performance. Now, Command Performance, as we watch the replay here, is the 2 horse. I'm going to let this whole race go through. So watch the 2. Did not get off to the best start, as we're going to see. You can see right there on the inside there in the gray, sort of bobbled and was off slow from the inside. That is never a good thing, right? This looks like to me a very big horse with a big stride. So I think the extra mile distance is going to suit this horse great. And you see from here, he gets a pretty good trip. He's coming up the inside, mid pack there. As you see, they went pretty quick up front, 21-3 to the first quarter. Now you see him raging up here on the inside, but he's going to be taking a lot of mud. Again, this was a muddy track. So right now he's moving up nicely there, the gray in between horses, taking mud, moving up. Now right about here, he's in hand. Now you see the jockey. He's got plenty of horse there. The horse is just waiting for the jockey's cues. He's in between. He's waiting. You see, taking a bunch of mud, and he will make this split. You see right here, he's going to come. He's going to come to the outside, angle out, and makes this split, and runs on nicely. Did he explode? No, but now he's in the middle of the track. Obviously, the track was wet, making a nice run here to finish second against a nice horse. And I also want you to pay attention to the gallop out because I think gallop outs are important in certain races. And I think they certainly are here. Watch the 2 on the gallop out. I'm going to continue to let it run through. You see the 4 won the race. But again, this race coming up is in mind. There he is right there on the gallop out. So I do believe this horse will appreciate the extra distance. Of course, we'll have to see how that goes. But I do like the gallop out for Command Performance. You see the buyer there, Don't Wait Up, got an 80. You take a look at the incremental pace, and Command Performance finished that last eighth quicker than anyone else in 12.44 seconds. So there are a lot of things I like about Command Performance's first effort. Now, he's going to have to improve. There's no question about it. Got a 75 buyer, perfectly fine, can improve a lot in a race that's got a lot of speed. Let's take a look at some other horses in this race. First of all, the morning line favorite. Wit is also by Pletcher, trained by Pletcher, and is also owned by the same ownership. I find that to be very, very interesting. Now, IRAD is on Wit, okay? That might be something to be concerned about. IRAD was also on the 6 Command Performance first time out, and you would have to assume that IRAD Ortiz had a choice, and he goes to Wit. I got to be honest. I'm not going to worry about the jockey situation here. Tyler Gaffleone's fully capable. I am not sold on Wit. I have nowhere. Again, my top picks here were 6-2-3. I'm going to use Wit very defensively in my pick 5 play. Wit can win, but he's a dead closer. He has had trouble breaking from the gate. He's breaking from the rail, which is not the easiest place to break, going a mile against very good horses. I will have Wit on my ticket, but in general, I'm against Wit on Saturday. I prefer the other Rapoli horse, and that would be the Sixth Command performance. Let's talk about some other horses. My Prankster. My Prankster in this race can definitely win. He's going to be very tough here if he gets the distance. He won by 10 last time and did it very well. Not only that, if you take a look at some of the horses that are coming out of that race, you see the Seal Beach finished second in his next race. The horse that finished third finished second. Cogburn, who finished fourth, fourth in this race, came back and won at Churchill Downs with an 82 buyer. This was a very, very live race that my prankster comes out of. He was super fast. No question, my prankster has a big shot in this race. And I also think he gets the distance. You see the breeding. Uh, Let me go to the family tree here. My prankster is by Into Mischief out of a Flower Alley, Flower Alley on the second side. My Wandy's Girl is the dam. You see Flower Alley in the second family. Obviously wanted to go long. Unbridled Secret was unraced, but this horse can obviously get the distance, at least based on the breeding. We'll have to see. Again, Into Mischief, Flower Alley smells like a horse that can absolutely go long. The horse that I have third is Jack Christopher. Now, Jack Christopher also won by 8, 92 buyer, very, very impressive. And who did he beat? Well, he comes out of a live race also. As you can see, Hoist the Gold, who finished second, who he beat, won at Churchill Downs with a 78 buyer, and back to normal, finished third in that same race at Churchill Downs just this past weekend. So Mike Christopher can obviously win. What I'm not sure about Mike Christopher here, though, ladies and gentlemen, is the breeding. Take a look at the breeding here for Mike Christopher, or excuse me, for Jack Christopher. Jack Christopher is by Munnings out of a half hour's mare, Russian No Blushin'. And when you take a look at the breeding here, Russian No Blushin' was not very good, obviously, only won 5,700 dollars. And you take a look at the siblings, they're also not very impressive. When you go to the family tree, Munnings was a very fast horse, mainly 7 furlongs. Now, this race on Saturday, of course, is a 1 turn mile. So it's not a 2 turn race. It's a middle distance race, but Munnings probably better a little bit shorter. Half Hours, who's on the dam side, was very, very good horse, but was better sprinting. And then you go to also the Grand Dam, also a sprinter. I have some serious concerns about Jack Christopher getting the mile against other fast horses. However, Jack Christopher can absolutely win. He's very fast. He's good. It would not surprise me in this race if he won. Again, my choices in this race are 6, 2, 3. Some of you might be wondering about what about Gunite? A Gunite obviously can win. I'm using Gunite defensively. He just won the hopeful. I think some other horses have some more upside, number one. And number two, I wouldn't say he's coming back quick, but he's coming back in just a few weeks. I'm not sure we're going to see Gunite's best performance here. He can absolutely win, but I'm a little bit against Gunite in this race. I'm definitely completely against Wit, although, of course, Wit can win. Again, my choices, I'm going with a bit of a long shot. You got to use many horses in this race. I'm going 6, 2, 3 in the Champagne. Going with a bit of a price here in the number 6. Command Performance. I think I will get a price. I don't think it'll be 10 to 1. I think there's a lot of speed. I think Tyler Gafflin will take back. I think this horse will make a big run late and has a big shot in this race. We have some other people here. Horsey Dave believes that my prankster is a bounce candidate and I'll be overbet. Horsey Dave, I don't know about the bounce. I mean, he's off over a month. I'm not sure he's going to bounce. Will he be overbet? Possibly. He won by 10 lengths last time. Those horses are usually overbet. Let me go ahead and put myself back on. Sorry. those horses can absolutely be overbet, Horsey Dave. Um, let's see here. Horsey Dave likes Wit. Okay, Wit can absolutely win. Christine, thank you very much for joining the show. Thanks. We're gonna have a lot of people joining the show. We have a lot of people watching tonight, folks. If you are watching tonight, please make sure you comment. Hit that live chat. I'm going to bring up a lot of comments tonight. Christine, I did not know that. That's so funny. I have a ton of respect for Andy Serling. I was happy to have Andy Serling on the HHH Racing podcast here over the summer. I did not look at Andy Serling's picks, but that makes me feel good, Christine. I'm assuming Christine, he has those horses in the same order too. So uh, listen, if it's good enough for Andy Serling, it's good enough for me. Hopefully, we're both going to be right on Saturday. All right, so that's the champagne. Now, there are other, let me go ahead and take this off the screen, folks. Let me press some buttons here. Okay, there are other stake races on Saturday at Belmont, but that's the only win in you're in race for the Breeders' Cup. So, again, we're going to be focusing on the Breeders' Cup tonight. So if you're interested in other selections from me, let me go ahead and turn the screen off here on the side. If you're interested in other selections from me at Belmont and you want my pick five selections, that will be on the Race Day blog. Again, that's why you need the Race Day blog. I give ABC selections, pick five tickets at other tracks, and more detailed information about Belmont will be on my Race Day blog this weekend. So please make sure you purchase it. Again, wait till tomorrow. If you're watching this live on Thursday, wait till Friday. I don't want you to have to pay a double for next month, obviously. So wait till Friday to purchase or Saturday morning early to purchase the Race Day blog so you can get it this weekend. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to Santa Anita next. Let me bring up the PPs for Santa Anita, and we will talk about Santa Anita. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Santa Anita. Let me take this. Let me go full screen for myself real quick here. So, Santa Anita, we are going to cover the late pick four at Santa Anita, and the reason we are is because three of the four races, the late pick four at Santa Anita on Saturday, are win and you're in races for the Breeders' Cup. And I figured, well, if we're going to cover the first three legs of the pick four, we might as well cover the last race of the day, which ends the pick four, because it is a stake race, even though it's not a win and you're in. We might as well cover it. It's a fun sequence. Full disclosure, I'm probably playing in a live money contest at Santa Anita on Saturday. Uh, who knows? Maybe I can get a second seat to the Breeders' Cup betting challenge, which would be awesome. Maybe I can win another $10,000 seat. Who knows? Unlikely, just because the odds are very difficult, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to be heavy duty into betting Santa Anita on Saturday. It is opening weekend. And by the way, on Friday, tomorrow, of course, I filmed this on Thursday night. Friday is opening day at Santa Anita. They're going to have fans there. They have a bunch of stake races on Friday, tomorrow, and they're actually win and you're in races also. They have some 2-year-old races and some good racing. We're not going to cover that here on the show, but again, I would highly recommend you take a look at Santa Anita tomorrow. And just also as a public service announcement, if you're betting the Breeders' Cup in early November at Del Mar, I believe it's November 5th and 6th, folks, you got to do your homework. You got to watch these races, whether live or replays or whatever. But these Breeders' Cup prep races are very, very important. It's the last race for all these horses before the Breeders' Cup, and it will give you a lot of clues and insight as to what's going to happen in November. Is it the end all be all? No. You have to look at the totality of the horses' PPs, but the last prep absolutely matters quite a bit. So again, I would watch the races on Friday for sure. Let's get into Saturday. We already have some thoughts from some people. We got C Money. C Money in the house. He loves Vertical Threat. Wow. In the first race. Let's bring it up right now, as he knows we're going to be talking about race 8. So let's go ahead and bring up the first race we're going to be talking about on Saturday. The first race that we're going to talk about on Breeders' Cup Win and Urine Races Santa Anita is race 8. And this race, I'm going to go ahead and take myself off the screen here. This race starts at 7:06. Again, 7:06 Eastern Time. It's the Grade 2 Santa Anita Sprint Championship Stakes. I'm going to go ahead and first bring my picks up, and then we'll bring on other picks. Will C Money agree with me? Will I go with Vertical Threat? No. Vertical Threat, sorry, C Money. Vertical Threat nowhere in my trifecta. That doesn't mean he can't win. I'm going 614. My top choices here 614 in the Sprint Championship, race 8. I'll bring up all my picks, by the way, at the very end of the show as well. This field is another small field, a field of 6. Dr. Chevelle, there's Vertical Threat, 6-1. Colt Fiction, 8-1. CZ Rocket, a horse we all know well, 5-2. Flagstaff, 7-2. And my top choice, a horse that I've been a big fan of, frankly, for a long time. Second time off the layoff, I'm going with my top choice from Mark Latt, the number 6, Collusion Illusion. 4-1 morning line. Juan Hernandez here in the saddle. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very interesting race. First of all, let me be very clear. I'm going to put myself back full screen. Jackie's Warrior right now is by far, the clear favorite in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. He's an absolute monster. There's been some Breeders' Cup news that you may or may not be aware of. Flightline, a horse that's run almost about 107, 108 buyers in his first 2 starts for John Sadler. A complete freakazoid, is not going to the Breeders' Cup. They're going to be patient with him, and they're going to run him in the Malibu, which is late December, a grade 1 for restricted 3-year-olds going 7 furlongs to Santa Anita. I'm personally very disappointed by that. I'd love to see him in the Breeders' Cup, but he's not going to the Breeders' Cup. The other very, very, very fast horse, Life is Good, is going in the Breeders' Cup Mile, the Dirt Mile as of now. So as of now, I think not by my standards, but Jackie's Warrior right now is a clear heavy favorite in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. However, one of these horses in this race will qualify for that Breeders' Cup race. And I got to be honest, I don't think any of these horses have any chance at all to win the Breeders' Cup. But it's important to mention these horses because maybe you're going to fill out these horses in a trifecta, or maybe just totally disagree and like these horses in the Breeders' Cup. Who knows? What I found interesting about this race is I did not see a lot of speed. So I will see one thing, C Money, about Vertical Threat. On paper, Vertical Threat is going to be on the lead. He's got a 121 early time for him. He's a fast horse early. He did get a 102 buyer in the mud at Mahoning Valley there in November. But I got to tell you something. That last race at Charlestown, and it was that night I covered very much so on the Race Day blog because that was their big stakes night of the year. And when he won the Russell Road, getting 88 buyers, C Money, everyone else, that track was super duper speed favoring. It was inside bias. It was super duper speed favoring. It helped Vertical Threat a ton. And frankly, he didn't beat very much. He's going to have to be much, much, much better if he wants to win on Saturday, in my opinion, even with a pace advantage. Vertical Threat could win wire to wire. I'll be using Vertical Threat very defensively, backing him up and a backup ticket, probably a C, but honestly, I don't think Vertical Threat classes up. Let me talk about my choice, Collusion Illusion. Collusion Illusion is second off the layoff. That last race was a complete prep. He's not a turf horse. I think Glatt just threw him on there just to get a race in him. He's never been on turf. He didn't run great. He really didn't try hard. He didn't do much. That was a complete and total prep. Mark Glatt is much better, second off the layoff. This horse got really good last year as a 3-year-old when he won the La Brea. He won the Bing Crosby against older horses. By the way, that race last year, let me bring up. Look who he beat last year in the Bing Crosby. He beat Lexingtonian. And Lexingtonian, of course, won the Vanderbilt. And Lexingtonian is a nice horse. So last year, Collusion Illusion beat some nice horses, including Lexingtonian. And then he ran in the Malibu, and no shame in the Malibu. He lost to Charlatan and Express Train. That was a ridiculously difficult Malibu. He's second off the layoff. He's got real nice works. He's got blinkers on. I'm hoping Juan Hernandez is aggressive with collusion illusion early. I like to see him just sitting off the pace. I see no reason why he can't. There's not a lot of speed in this race. I think we will get odds at 4-1. I like collusion illusion here in my top choice. My second choice here is Dr. Chevelle, 2-1 morning line. I hate that morning line on the win end. By the way, also trained by Mark Glatt. So I think Mark Glatt has got a stranglehold possibly on this race. Dr. Chevelle has been very good in his last two races, especially since he's turned 3 years old. He should get a nice trip from the inside. I'm not sure how good he is yet. We're going to find out. He got a dream setup last time. I'm not going to show the replay, but there was a very fast pace. He came over the top and he won, but I was not blown away with the effort. Only got a 93 buyer. Can he take another step forward? Absolutely. Dr. Chevelle, I think, is a very dangerous 3-year-old in this race. And my other choice is the very classy veteran, the number 4, CZ Rocket, who lost to Dr. Chevelle 2 starts back. Maybe he's rounding back into form. He's a very nice 7-year-old. He's won almost 1.5 million. He can absolutely win. He'd be a third choice. I might actually use him as an A also because I think this race is wide open. My problem with CZ Rocket in this race, ladies and gentlemen, is there's not a lot of speed in this race, and he's more of a closer. I think CZ Rocket is much better with a target. I'm not sure there's a lot of speed in this race. So we'll see what happens with CZ Rocket. He can obviously win. Flagstaff, I've been wrong about Flagstaff a lot of times. I do think Flagstaff is better going 7. If you look at the distance there on the screen, he's only 1 for 8 going 6 furlongs, and he also is a little better off the pace. He's also might be getting a little bit long in the tooth, but he's a very nice horse. He can win. I'm using him defensively. I just think he's better going 6 furlongs. So again, my top choice in the sprint championship, I'm going 6-1-4. I do think you have to spread. I think it's pretty wide open. Let's see on some comments here. Paul Halloran. Paul is a big fan of the show, does a great job there. Paul, tell me what you think about your Boston Red Sox. They are in a very tight wild card race, Paul. Are they going to make the wild card? Are they going to make the playoffs? They're in a tight race there. Paul does not like vertical threat either. I tend to agree with Paul on that. Horsey Dave thinks there's more pace in this race than I suggest. We'll see. Could be. I don't know. Horsey Dave, by the way, wants the Blue Jays. I think they're a half game out. Horsey Dave. It's a three-team race there between Toronto, the Yankees, and Boston. I think for that last wild card. Meanwhile, one of my home team guys, the Chicago White Sox, won the division. I think they're a threat to for sure get to the World Series. But anyway, good luck to all your baseball teams if they're still alive. Maybe there's more pace in this race than I say, Horsey Dave. I don't see where it's going to come from, though, to be very honest with you. We'll have to see. Let's see what Horsey Dave does like collusion illusion. He thinks it'll be a blistering pace. I don't think so. Horsey Dave, I don't see that at all. I've been wrong about pace before. I don't see it here. Anyway, very interesting race. Race 8. That is the Grade 2 Santa Anita Sprint Championship. It's a win and you're in. All right, let's go to the next race, folks. The next race, and it's a win you're in, is race 9. This is on the turf. It's downhill turf race. They're going 1.25 miles. Let me go ahead and put myself back on screen here. I'm switching back and forth here a little bit. 1.25 miles on the turf. It's the Grade 1 Rodeo Drive Stakes. This is a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. Again, let me go back full screen here. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to be real honest. That's what the show's about. I don't think any of these horses have even a remote chance to be a factor in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. But again, I think it is worthy covering these races. You got to give these races and horses their due respect. First of all, again, maybe you'll find a long shot in here that you like in the Breeders' Cup Turf. Maybe I'm underestimating these horses. And of course, this race is in the late pick four on Saturday. But again, there are some monster Euros coming in. And of course, you have Warlike Goddess, who's a very nice horse, um, who is going to be in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. I don't think these horses class up at all. But let's talk about this race. I think it's very interesting. Let me go back and put on the PPs. This is a 9-horse field. Very quickly, go through the races. We got Dog Tag for Richard Mandel. I'm going to go ahead and take myself off screen again so we can see the PPs fully. You got Dog Tag for Mandel 4-1. We have Fast Jet Court Brazilian bred Michael McCarthy 10-1 Dre and Van Dyke. You have Neige Blanche for Leonard Powell 8-1. Going to Vegas 5-2. Won the John C. Maybe last time. Richard Baltus, Rispoli. Ride for the Cause, McCarthy, 15-1. Cristal, Peter Miller, 20-1. Magic Attitude coming in from the East Coast, Arnold Delacour, 5-1. Luck, a horse for Richard Baltus, who won his only start here in the U.S., 3-1. Excuse me, her start in the U.S. 3-1. And Red Lark, 10-1 morning line, Patty Gallagher. So again, there's the field right there. Again, I don't know if you folks have had a chance to look over the PPs. It's a very interesting race. It's pretty wide open. Wait a minute, a second. Wait a minute. I got to interrupt everyone. I got to interrupt. Paul, I just realized you're talking about your Red Sox. That's good. I thought you were talking about the White Sox a second. The White Sox are pretty good fundamentally. Wow. Paul is down on his home team, Red Sox. Okay, well, we'll see what happens there, Paul. Anyway, going back to the Rodeo Drive here. There's a horse. I think it's a pretty wide open race. Let me give my picks first. My picks in the Rodeo Drive, boom, right there. I'm going 847. 847. Again, feel free to write that down. If you're watching live, you can watch a replay of it, of course, later. 847 in the Rodeo Drive. Hopefully, this horse will almost not live up to his name because I don't think Luck will need a lot of luck to win this race. I was very, very impressed with Luck's first start. We're going to go and watch the replay. Now, he only got a 90 buyer. And before we watch the replay there, let me just tell you about who was in the race. This was not a very strong field. As you can see, the horse he beat was England's Rose, who was pretty much a mid-80s buyer. England's Rose did win next time out with an 84. But when we look at the rest of the field here, these horses are living in the 70s. So admittedly, this was not a very strong field. But the way Luck did it, I mean, super duper impressive. Let's go and watch the replay of this allowance win for Luck. Luck is the 4-horse here. We're not going to show the whole replay. I'm going to go ahead and set this up. We're going to go ahead and fast forward here. Again, you want to focus on the 4-horse so here's Luck right here, sort of second to last. It was a fairly moderate pace, and you can see Luck in hand. By the way, here's England's Rose, the 2, who was the next out winner. You see Luck there in 4 in the Foxwood colors, in hand, ranging up in between horses. And once this horse angles out, absolutely explodes. And it really looks to me, ladies and gentlemen, like Luck is just getting her engines rolling. Nice, big, long European stride, absolutely in cruise control, hand ride, winning very, very easily. The gallop out was great. Ladies and gentlemen, to me, that's about as easy as you can do it. I like Luck. This is a fresh face. I think Luck is very live here. I'm a little bit concerned about the pace situation. Let's talk about that. But Luck will be a top choice. Did run a mile and a half in May. Frankly, did not run well, but that was soft turf in France. I think this horse obviously wants the firm ground. This horse is by Kitten's Joy, Irish bred on both sides, including the dam side. Again, for LNJ Foxwoods, I think this horse has a monster kick and is a big shot to win this race. My concern for Luck would be the 4 going to Vegas, who's 5-2 morning line. There's just not a lot of speed in this race, guys. Not a lot of speed at all. And going to Vegas, do I have to admit I was against in the John C. Maybe I was absolutely wrong about this horse and knocked me out of the pick five. Full disclosure, when she ran last time, she got a career top 96. Balt has got this horse in good form. There's not a lot of speed in this race, and I think going to Vegas has a huge shot to either wire the field and certainly get the jump on Luck. The question I have for going to Vegas is she as classy as Luck? We're gonna find out for sure. The other horse that I am going to use in this race pretty strongly would be the 7, Magic Attitude. Now, let me put myself back on full screen. It's been proven time and time again that these horses that come from the East Coast, ship out west, in general, they're just better than the West Coast horses. They are. East Coast turf horses in general are just better. It's been proven out. It's not even an opinion. It's pretty much a fact. But But here's the problem with Magic Attitude as I go back to the PPs. This horse is a dead closer. Uh, so Johnny Velasquez is going to have to get Magic Attitude more into the game because I do not think Magic Attitude can just sweep around this entire field with a slow pace, including blowing by Luck. I don't see it. I love Magic Attitude, the horse. I can see why people want to put this horse on top. Magic Attitude will be an A or a B for me. But if I had to rate my choices based on the pace situation, I'd have to put Magic Attitude in third. So again, my top choices in this race, as I bring it up in the Rodeo Drive, I'm going 8, 4, 7. I really think Luck has a big shot here. I loved what I saw on the visuals. I'm going with Luck in this race. We got a few quick comments, I believe, here. C Money wants to mention that let me go back here. Turf Marathon's favorite pace setters. Totally agree with you. Um, he likes going to Vegas. Yeah, listen, Horsey Dave going to Vegas is very sharp form. He's got early speed. I really don't. I honestly believe Luck and Magic Attitude are better horses, but the pace might work out very well for going to Vegas. We'll have to see. Let's go on to the next race, folks. We have two more races we're going to cover, and then I'm going to talk about Arlington just for a minute to wrap up the show. The next race, the Awesome Again. Very interesting race. Again, this is the other win in you're in. Let me take the comments off the screen here. All right, there you go. This is the other, and I got to take this off the screen. All right. This is the other win in you're in. I'm going to go full screen here for a second. The grade 1 Awesome Again. This is for older horses. This is race 10 on Saturday at Santa Anita. It's a grade 1. It's a mile and eighth. The purse is $300,000. And there's one horse in this race that I know everyone wants to talk about. And we'll talk about that horse in a minute. It's an 8-horse field. You got Tis a Magician, Midcourt, Express Train, Stiletto Boy. There's the horse everyone's going to be talking about, Medina Spirit, who bypassed the Pennsylvania Derby because he didn't like the post, Bob Baffert. I don't know about that. Okay, whatever. Medina Spirit goes here instead. You got another Bob Baffert, Azul Coast. Tripoli, who won the Pacific Classic. And then Idol. I'm a fanboy of Idol. Won for us last time Idol ran. He won the Santa Anita Handicap for me and a bunch of people on this show and the blog. He won at 5.5 to 1. That was a nice score for me and a bunch of other people. Idol. Will Howard pick Idol as his top choice in the Awesome Again. Drum roll, please. You got a drummer out there, anyone? My top choice in the Awesome Again is not Idol. I don't even have Idol in my top 3. Not this time. I've got 753. 753 in the Awesome Again. Let's talk about my top choice. I'm going to go ahead and go full screen here. I like Tripoli. Was last time the time for Tripoli? Maybe. Maybe I'm just getting suckered in. I got to admit, I didn't love Tripoli last time, I thought he was interesting. I was concerned, frankly, about Tiago Pereira because he's really not a high percentage jockey. But boy, I got all credit to Tiago Pereira, who gave Tripoli a great ride. I got to be honest. I see Tripoli getting a great trip again. I really do. There are no killers in this race. This is an absolutely wide open race, by the way, wide open. There are a lot of horses that just live in the high 90s, low 100 buyers. There are no killers in this race. I think Tripoli is going to sit mid pack or just outside Medina Spirit. He's not as fast as Medina Spirit early, but I think Tripoli is going to get a nice outside stalking trip. He's in great form. I think he can win again. Will I get 3-1? I'm not sure. He's an A. I like Tripoli in this race. It's not a strong pick, but I think there's no reason why Tripoli cannot win back again. My second choice is Medina Spirit. Now look, let me go full screen. Let me go full screen here. We got to talk. All right. I'm not again getting into the politics about how I feel about Bob Baffert, blah, blah, blah. We could talk about that forever. Let's just focus on the horse Medina Spirit. Okay. If you want to make the argument uh, that I know Matt Bernier made, that there was more speed in the Pennsylvania Derby race, I have to agree. There is not a lot of early speed in this race. No real confirmed speed. And if Medina Spirit had run in the Pennsylvania Derby, which, by the way, for the record, he should have run in it. Please don't tell me the post. Post, please. That's ridiculous to me. Since when has Bob Baffert been worried about a post in $1 million race? I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. But I will buy the fact that Baffert won being a race with less early pace in it. I'll buy that. Uh, so Medina Spirit doesn't have to face early speed like Hot Rod Charlie. Doesn't have to face early speed like Midnight Bourbon. Uh, Medina Spirit is the controlling speed in this race, and he can absolutely win this race again. I don't care how you feel about Bob Baffert or whatever, folks. I'm here to handicap tonight. This is strictly handicapping. Medina Spirit can absolutely win this race. Let's go back to the PPs. Um, Early time form 121. He projects to be on the lead. Now, based on the buyers, he obviously does not lay over this field. In fact, his buyers are really about the same as everyone else. But controlling speed with the lead can get the distance. Medina Spirits give me an A for me. I'm not a huge fan, obviously, of the connections right now based on all the things that have gone on. But to be honest with you, Medina Spirit can win. He's an A for sure for me. The other horse that I would use quite a bit, and another A, would be Express Train. I just think this horse is very honest. We're not going to show the replay of Pacific Classic. Did not get a very good trip. Was in tight on the first turn. Never looked comfortable. I think Express Train will be a little bit further off the pace this time. Likes the distance, is consistent. 5 for 6 at Santa Anita. Express Train would be my third choice in this race. Tis Magician. Can he win? Sure. I'm going to use him defensively. I'm not sure he's as classy as the others, but he ran huge last time. Huge in the Pacific Classic. Can he repeat that with other speed in the race? I don't know. Maybe I could be underestimating Tis Magician. I'm going to use him defensively. Midcourt has run some big races. I'm going to use him very defensively. He can win with the right setup and if he runs his best. No question about it. Stiletto Boy actually ran into some trouble. I'm not going to show the replay, but was bothered in the stretch. I actually liked Stiletto Boy a little bit in his last race. I bet him, believe it or not, at 22.5 to 1. He ran very well. He got third. I used him in the try. I don't think he's fast enough to win this race, but if the race completely falls apart, would I be shocked if Stiletto Boy is in the money? No, I would not. I don't see Azul Coast. I'm surprised Baffert has this horse in here. I'll tell you what might happen with Azul Coast. You know what might happen? Azul Coast might play that lead, not lead back, but sort of that blocking back. We've seen that before where Baffert sends a horse and he's got another horse, sitting just the outside of him and forces the other horses outside of him wide. It happened earlier in the year. So I'm not sure why Azul Coast is in this race unless, he thinks very high of this horse, obviously. But, he likes to be up front too. So I don't know. Something to me is a little bit strange here. I have a feeling Zulakos is going to try to play a little cat and mouse with some of the other horses in here, maybe Tripoli. We'll see. Let's talk about Idol for a second. And I know there's a bunch of a lot of questions people have. What about Idol? So when you look at Idol, uh, Richard Baltus always said that he was getting this horse ready for the Breeders' Cup Classic after he won the Santa Anita Handicap. So the plan was to rest Idol up, but he did want to run Idol way before this race. So Idol's had a few little issues. He's working well. I don't like him in this spot. But let me say this about Idol. I hope Idol runs okay Saturday. Like maybe a troubled trip or like a clunk up third or something. I am very, 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 very interested in using Idol in the Breeders' Cup Classic underneath. He doesn't class up to Nick's Go, who's running this weekend. He doesn't class up with Essential Quality and Hot Rod Charlie, in my opinion. However, depending on who goes to the Breeders' Cup Classic, I would be very interested in Idol underneath in a trifecta for like second or especially in third at like 15 to 1. I think Idol's a bit interesting in the Breeders' Cup Classic underneath as maybe one of the better closers in the race. We'll see how Idol does on Saturday. I don't like him on Saturday, but I do possibly like him as the bomb in the Breeders' Cup Classic underneath. Let's take a look at some comments here. Horsey Dave. Um, he has a nice work. He could sit a nice trip. Horsey Dave, in general, I'm worried about the layoff here. I don't like the fact that he's missed some time. Uh, and really, even if he runs his best race, is his best race good enough in this field? I'm not sure, but we'll see. Gemini, thanks for joining the show. Another great listener. Again, if you're watching, folks, we have a lot of people watching. Very soon, we're going to go to the last race, and then I will give my take. I've got a bomb in the last race. I love a bomb in the last race. We're going to talk about, and then we'll talk about my take on Arlington. So please stick with me here on the show. Um, yeah, good point, Gemini. Medina Spirit's going against older, but are these really like really, really? These are not the best older horses, right? So it's later in the year here for 3-year-olds, Gemini. Not too concerned about that. I'm more concerned if he's good enough. But I don't think the fact he's going against older horses is a major concern. Uh, no, Medina Spirit is a 3-year-old horsey, Dave. He won the Derby, won the Derby this year. It's still up for debate. All right, so again, let me just show you one more time before we get into. I can't wait. Can't wait to talk about my bomb in the next race. I know hopefully you're excited too. Again, my picks in the awesome again. I'm going 7-5-3, but I would use some other horses in the awesome again. Let me go ahead and give me a chance to get some water. All right. The last race of the day at Santa Anita on Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, this could make or break my entire weekend. So I'm putting myself out there. Now listen, I'm not putting my car payments, I'm not putting my mortgage on this horse, but there's a horse in this next race, the last race at Santa Anita, that is going to be a price for sure that I am very, very interested. I'm going to be using this horse underneath in trifectas. I'm going to use this horse in contests. I'm going to use this horse in the pick 5. Let's go to it right now. Let me jump to the PPs, and we're going to go to the last race of the day. The last race at Santa Anita, and this is not a win and you're in. Again, this is not a win and you're in. This is the Grade 2 John Henry Turf Championship. They're on the turf. They're going 1.25 miles at Santa Anita. It's a Grade 2. The purse is $200,000. This is a huge field. This is a field of 13. That's right, 13 horses. Very quickly, award winner, Camino del Paraiso, Neptune Storm. The Moorline favorite 5-2, United for Mandela and Pratt. Ready Soul 12-1. Acclimate 9-2. Masterpiece, a horse I liked last time that broke my heart at 23-1 for Michael McCarthy. Count of Amazonia 12 to 1. Media Blitz, is that my long shot? Is that my long shot? Media Blitz? 20 to 1 morning line for Simon Callahan. Red King, 15 to 1. There's some prices in this race. 15 to 1 morning line. Cupid's Claws, 12 to 1 for Peter Miller. Friars Road, Michael McCarthy, Rispoli, 15 to 1. And KP All Systems Go, 20 to 1, Jeff Mullins. We're not going to be watching too many replays here. I'm going to put myself on screen for this. Guys, there's a lot of ways you can go. Now, a few things. First of all, there's some speed in this race. All right. Let's talk about the early pace situation before I bring up my top choice. Award winner has some early speed. Let me go full screen here. Award winner is going to be up close. Is he a speedball? No. He wants to be up close for sure. Camino del Paraiso wants to be up close. Not really a speed type, but does prefer to be up close. Neptune Storm is definitely going. This horse is stretching out from a mile to a mile and a quarter. I think the only way this horse wins is on the lead. I think Drew is going to be sending. United has been better up close. Is not a speed horse, but has been better a little bit up close lately. Acclimate is definitely a speed horse. This horse has to go. This horse only knows one way. Acclimate is going. The 9, Media Blitz. Sorry, not a speed horse, excuse me. That's really about it. So I definitely think there's speed between Acclimate the 6, definitely speed. United will be up relatively close. Neptune Storm will definitely be up close. And you have to think Award Winner will be up close. But definitely between Neptune Storm and Acclimate, there's got to be speed. I'm looking for a closer in this race. And again, let me go back full screen. We've seen many times, and by the way, none of these horses, if they win, are going to be a threat in the Breeders' Cup turf at all. In fact, I don't even know if they would go. If you like United, fine. I don't think he's a Breeders' Cup threat this year in the Breeders' Cup turf. I want to go with a closer in this race, and a lot of these horses have been beating up on each other. I'm looking for a fresh face. I'm looking for a fresh face, and I'm looking for a closer. I'm going to give everyone a dramatic 30 seconds. Type in, who do you think is Howard's play of the weekend / long shot? I'm going to scroll through the PPs one more time and let you type in, who do you think? Is it Award Winner, 12 to 1? Is it Camino del Paraiso, 15 to 1? Again, I'm going to look at long shots. Maybe Ready Soul, fresh face, 12 to 1. Could it be Con of Amazonia, 12 to 1? Media Blitz, 20 to 1. Red King, 15 to 1. He's a closer. Cupid's Claws is a closer, 12 to 1. Friars Road looks like is a closer, 15 to 1. Or is it KP All Systems Go? Type in the chat, who is Howard going? Who am I going with for my long shot of the day? I'll give you about 10 more seconds. My long shot play of the day, it's going to be coming up on screen. Let's see, we got people coming in. Horsey Dave thinks it's going to be the 12, Friars Road. I'm looking at the picks here. Let's see, I'll give it another second. Anyone else want to type in their guess on who my long shot is today? All right, we'll just go with it. Horsey Dave. So here's Horsey Dave's comments. Horsey Dave thinks it's the 12. Again, Horsey Dave thinks it's the 12. Horsey Dave, there we go. We've got, oh, thank you. We got some people, new people. Trending Fails and Karma. Trending Fails and Karma, thanks for joining the show. He's got the 11 horse. So, anyone else? C Money is going with Red King. Thinks I believe Red King is my long shot. All right, enough of the suspense. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. My long shot of the weekend, I think he's very interesting, is, drum roll please, Horsey Dave. Horsey Dave. You're right. I love the 12 here. I think the 12 has a big shot in this race. I'm either going to be very, very right or very, very wrong at later at night here on Saturday night. I'm going 12-4-7 in the John Henry Turf Championship. So Horsey Dave, Horsey Dave wants to know What do you win? Horsey Dave, absolutely nothing. You don't win anything, Horsey Dave. I'll tell you what you're going to win. We're going to win some big cash on Saturday when Friars Road comes in at about 15 to 1. All right? That's what you're going to win. Let me talk about Friars Road. Now, listen. Here's my main thought. Sorry, I keep switching screens here, but let me talk about Friars Road. All right? I want to go with a fresh face in this race. I want to go with a closer. I want to go with something interesting. I would never take a favorite in this race. Let's talk about Friars Road. All right. Friars Road is 15 to 1 morning line. I think you're going to get that for Michael McCarthy. Michael McCarthy has two horses in this race. All right. Michael McCarthy also has the number 7 Masterpiece. Masterpiece is 5 to 1 morning line. Masterpiece ran well last time. Here's one of the keys for me. Drain Van Dyke, is on Masterpiece. Who is on the 12? The 12 is Rispoli. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got some stats. I got to blow you away with some stats. Everyone listening? It's not going to be up on the screen. Let me read you something. So, Michael McCarthy with Umberto Rispoli and Drain Van Dyke. Are you ready for this? On the turf, going long. Ready? On the turf, going long. With Rispoli, Michael McCarthy, 30%. 30%. With Rispoli going long on the turf, 67% in the money. 67% in the money going long on the turf with Rispoli, 30%. With Drayden Van Dyke going long on the turf, only 12%. Only 35% in the money. Again, Rispoli 30%, turf long, win. Drayden Van Dyke, 12% win. Rispoli in the money, 67%. Drayden Van Dyke, 35% in the money. Going long on the turf in graded stakes. Graded stakes going long on the turf. You ready for this? Rispoli, 33% on the win end. Going long on the turf, grade stakes. How about this? You ready? 83% in the money. Long on the turf in grade stakes. 83%? Not a huge sample size, but 83%. That same stat, going long on the turf in the grade stakes, Dran Van Dyke, 0 for 10. 0 for 10. Dran Van Dyke, going long on the turf with Rispoli. Only 40% in the money. Bam. Drop the mic. Now, is that the only reason I like Friar Road? Absolutely not. But if given a choice between Masterpiece and Friar Road, just on the jockey decision alone, I got to go with Rispoli. Now, there are a lot of other reasons because that's just not going to cut it. All right. Friar Road, let me take down the banner here. Friar Road costs $500,000, guys, $500,000. They had big hopes for Friar Road. This is a very big, lumbering horse. I'm going to show the last replay in a minute. This is a big, lumbering horse who wants distance, right? He took a little while to break his maiden. First time on the turf, going long, runs an 89 buyer. His best buyer by far. Now, these were not killers. He was not facing a great field. Let me say that again. This is not a great field that he was facing. He is the 6th horse. Again, he is the 6th horse in this race as we bring it up. All right. He is right here in the pink colors. This is Friar Road right here. This is a big lumbering sort. He got a very nice trip. He's right here. This horse to me looks like he can run all day. First of all, slow fractions, 25:49. Okay, he's mid-pack. He's going to be further back on Saturday. However, watch, I love the way that he finishes. He's got a lot of horse here, as you can see. He's just rating kindly. I'm going to fast forward. Now the jock presses the button. He ranges up. I'm just going to let you watch the rest of this race. He's 3 wide on the turn, closing into a pretty slow pace, and he wins this very, very easily. Again, these are not the best horses. He's going to have to run much faster on Saturday for sure. However, you see he's got a very long lumbering stride. He switches leads professionally. He goes on with it nicely. You can see, look how long these strides are. This race was 1.3 miles. He's accelerating. This is acceleration. Into the stretch, he was asked, but not asked fully. And he reaches out and he wins very, very easily. I love everything I saw about that race. Now, again, who is he facing? Not much. These horses are living in the high 70s, low 80s. He ran an 89. He legitimately is going to have to run, I'd say, 4 or 5 lengths faster. I think he can do it. I think he's going to improve second out. He's been working well. He likes the distance. He's a closer and a pace in a race with a lot of speed in it. Ladies and gentlemen, Friar Road, I would use him on top. I'd use him in trifectas, exactas. I'd use him everywhere. Again, I'm not betting the house on this horse. If this horse just gets in the money, I'll be ecstatic. If he gets in the money, he'll justify my pick. I'm going Friars Road, who I think will be more than 15 to 1 possibly in the John Henry Turf Championship Stakes at Santa Anita and the last race of the day. Very briefly, I'm going to go with the 4 United in second. United is a very honest horse. By the way, sorry, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think below the video player, especially whether you're live chatting or you're watching this as a replay. Friars Road, does he have a shot or am I crazy? I could completely wrong. Maybe Friars Road just doesn't class up, not going to be fast enough. He's going to clunk up for sixth. I could be completely wrong. I'm going to take a stab. Tell me down below the video player, what do you think about Friars Road in the last race at Santa Anita, race 11? I'm going with United here in second. I'm going to keep myself on screen. United is very honest, ran into some trouble last time. You can watch that replay if you want last time. It would be an interesting replay to watch. There was some trouble in behind. And then I'm going with the number 7. Actually, I do want to watch the end of the last race there. Masterpiece, who, by the way, I had like 5 horses in this race and a big pick 4 and couldn't cash on the end. We're going to go right to the end here. There's a lot of horses to watch. Let me freeze it right. Let me go a little bit forward here. All right, so let me freeze it right here. Right here, the 4. This is United. Red King is the 3. Masterpiece is the 6. That's what I want you to watch. Again, United is the 4. Red King is the 3. Masterpiece is the 6. I'm going to let you go ahead and run. Any of those horses win, I have a pick 4. And if Red King or United win, I have a real nice pick 4. I thought right here it was going to be Masterpiece in the gray. Watch what happens, though, as you see Masterpiece right here is the gray. Here's United waiting. United had some trouble. Red King was in behind with more trouble. The winner right here was Astronaut. I didn't see any excuses right here for Masterpiece. He just couldn't get there. And United had some trouble. He couldn't get there. And then in behind was Red King right there. I just didn't see excuses for Masterpiece, really. He should have gotten there. He didn't get there. There are no killers in this race. I think United is not the same as he used to be. Anyway, I think we've talked enough about this race. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going again in the Turf Championship 12-4-7. Friars Road. I'm going for it. All right. Let's see. Uh, Horsey Dave. All right. Enough about Friars Road. Let's see. Christine. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate it. Wow, Christine loves Michael McCarthy. He's had a great year. I mean, he's fantastic, right? He won with Rumbauer, right? Christine won with Rumbauer in the Preakness. So I have a ton of respect for Michael McCarthy. I just think he's very interesting. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment, Christine. It's only a good selection if he, is in the money. If he runs up the track, okay. So he doesn't run. He's going to be a long shot. Nothing wrong with taking a long shot. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not have, let me take this off the screen here. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. You're not going to see pick 4 or pick 5 selections on the show tonight. Again, don't leave. My Arlington speech is coming up here in just a second. If you want pick 4 or pick 5 information, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to my Race Day blog. I would do it tomorrow, Friday for sure, if not Saturday, or anytime after that. You'll get pick four, pick five, ABC selections, and you'll get also other price plays I have at other tracks throughout the country on Saturday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me take the banner off the scroll off the screen here, because I need to get serious here for a moment. Let me go ahead and all right, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, Arlington Park closed last Saturday. It was closing day forever. I was very excited to be there because it was closing day. It was also a very sad time. I want to give my take on the closing of Arlington Park. Now, I want to be very clear to anyone that's going to listen to this speech. Um, I like Churchill Downs. My best betting score ever, was the 2017 Kentucky Oaks Day when I hit a pick five and a pick four. I'm going to continue to bet Churchill Downs. There are many things I like about Churchill Downs and other Churchill Downs racetracks. But if I'm going to be honest with myself and you folks at home and viewers, I got to say how I feel and I got to speak what I feel is the truth. Please make sure after I give my speech here, you comment down below the video player. I welcome all comments, positive, negative. You might completely agree with me. You might completely disagree with me. All of that is just fine. I have no problem with disagreements, but I think we need to talk about the closing of one of the most beautiful racetracks in the world, in a place that I would call home for a long time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be reading this speech. I wanted to make sure there was no, misquotes, or I wasn't just going off the cuff. So I actually wrote this speech out. Again, please feel free to comment below the video player. I am not going to bring any of your comments up on screen, whether you completely agree or disagree. Anyone watching the show will be able to see the live chat comments as when they watch the replay. So here we go. My take on Arlington closing last week. The closing of Arlington Park hits especially close to home for me. Literally. I live 20 minutes from Arlington. So the last day on Saturday was difficult to watch, although I was very glad to be there in person. I was not a racetrack kid. My family did not go to the races when I was young. In fact, I did not step foot into Arlington until I was in my late teens. But that does not diminish my feelings about Arlington, its hard working employees, or the ownership of the facility. I spent many great days there hanging out with friends, family, and total strangers. Like any day at the track, some were very expensive after tough beats and bad trips, not to mention the overpriced food. But others brought nice scores, including my best one in Arlington, a 5-digit score when I scooped the Pick 9 pot in 2012. Those days also included occasional fireworks, many adult beverages, scouting horses in the paddock, and cheering on some of the best jockeys in the world. Here are just a few jockeys I've seen in my day at Arlington Park in no particular order: Pat Day, Jerry Bailey, Garrett Gomez, Early Fires, Shane Sellers, Johnny Velasquez, Junior Alvarado, Corey Nakatani, Florent Giroux, Irad and Jose Ortiz, Ryan Moore, and Frankie Dettori, just to mention a few. I miss seeing them parade in the walking ring with their mounts and cheering through the stretch. The number of famous and fantastic horses I've seen are too many to count. So, what do I make of the closing of this historic track? Since I started this podcast in late January of this year, I've had many great guests, including ones that are employees of Churchill Downs Incorporated, CDI, such as Ed DeRosa, Scott Shapiro, and the great track announcer, John G. Dooley. They love horse racing as much as I do and don't want to see Arlington close. For full disclosure, I've been a Twin Spires member since the early 2000s. If the opportunity arises, I'll be happy to have others on these airwaves, employees of CDI. I cover horse racing. I love horse racing. And these employees have nothing to do with the decisions of upper management. If you are a shareholder of CDI, you'd want the company to maximize profits and grow the business as they see fit. But at what cost? Let me share some strong opinions of the decision that has been made. There are many reasons why Arlington is no longer. To blame only CDI is unfair and short-sighted, in my opinion. The Illinois legislature took far too long to pass its much anticipated and complicated gambling expansion bill. Former track owner Richard Duchossois also must bear some of the burden for the demise of Arlington. The Illinois Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association, the ITHA, has been fighting with CDI for years about horse racing revenue and to do what's right by its employees. But let me be abundantly clear. Only one entity could save Arlington and is most responsible for its demise, and that is Churchill Downs Incorporated. Arlington has been dying for years, if you've been paying attention. Purses have gradually decreased, top trainers and jockeys have moved their tack elsewhere, and the Illinois bred foal crop has exponentially decreased over the last several years. CDI has focused its attention on growing and improving their home base, Churchill Downs, and casino-infused revenue, while ignoring depleting other racetracks. That seems to be counterintuitive if you're the home of the biggest and most famous race in the United States, the Kentucky Derby. It's a complete slap in the face to Illinois horsemen and women and racing fans this year in Chicago area, for example, when Churchill offers up a purse of well over $100,000 for one allowance race, while an entire card of 8 to 9 races at Arlington is the exact same amount as the one race at Churchill. The last straw occurred yesterday when CDI sold the Arlington property to the Chicago Bears. Although CDI would take a small, relatively speaking, financial hit in the long run if they sold to a horse racing entity, the altruistic reality of helping the local economy, Illinois horsemen and women, saving people's jobs, and giving its loyal customers in the Chicago area of decades what they want would, in my opinion, far outweigh the financial hit they would take. In conclusion, the closing of Arlington International Racecourse is another sad chapter in the North American horse racing landscape. Only one group of people win here, and that is Churchill Downs Incorporated. As usual, corporate profits will far outweigh the greater good. Michael Douglas's famous character in the movie Wall Street, Gordon Gekko, said it best: greed is good. But my question is, good for whom? Thank you for watching episode 85 of the HHH Racing Podcast. I've been your host, Howard Kravitz. Please make sure you send out emails, comment down below the video player, anything about the show. We have 500 subscribers now and growing. Please make sure you subscribe right over there on this YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you. Please tell all your friends. And good luck this weekend at the Breeders' Cup races. Win and you're in at Belmont and Santa Anita. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good luck and good night.